Look at all of us. Why are we all so different? While some of us are so similar in so many different ways. Why do some people seem to be better artists, while there are others that are really great dancers? Why are some people more financially responsible than others? Why is it easier for some people to create wealth, while others spend money faster than they earn it? Why are some people more serious and cautious than others, while other people are natural caretakers? Why do some people seem to be odd or weirder than others? Maybe it's our genetic makeup in our genes. Maybe it's the environment that we grew up in. Or could it be the families we were born into? Or could it be something else? Some people believe it could be our astrology. But that leaves us with the question, is astrology real? Hi, I'm Tito, and I'm the person that's going to be interviewing all of these students and finding out everything about them based on astrology. And all I want to do is I want to know, what do you think about it? This isn't trying to push it on you as a belief or anything like that. I'm just a curious person. And from the information that I've found about myself, it was pretty accurate. And then when I started testing it against my parents, my brothers, my best friends, the people that I knew like the back of my hand, everything that I read kept matching. So, how accurate is it actually? And is this real? Do I believe it's real? So, I've selected students born in different countries all over the world. It's not all people just from here. That way, they've grown up in different environments with different families in different countries. It's not like a sampling of people from like one area that maybe all think alike and have grown up alike. Everyone's completely different. And now I want to know what their astrology says about them and how do they feel about that? What does that do to them? Does it make them believe in it or not?
You've probably been asked before, what's your sign? They're talking about your sun sign. But what does that mean? Your sun sign represents who you are at your deepest level, your core self. For example, fire signs are bold and confident. Air signs value people and intelligence. Earth signs are grounded and traditional. And water signs are emotional and caring. It's the essence of your personality. It represents your identity, reflects your ego, and it represents the traits you naturally express. It's the driving force that makes you, you.
It's also like your identity. So at your core, you're an Aries. So what does that mean? I'm going to read something to you, and I want you to just tell me if any of it doesn't resonate with you. Okay? You're very energetic and spirited. You tend to be impatient if events don't move as quickly as you would like. You like to be the first to do everything, and often you take risks that others consider unwise.
Okay.
You're also rather quick to anger, but you do not hold grudges. However, while you are angry, you act rashly and may say things that you will regret later.
I feel like if I get actually mad, I low-key like convince myself of like it's not that big of a deal.
Mhm.
Like, I don't really do confrontation. I don't like that.
What about the impulsiveness?
So I feel like I'm impulsive and like my thoughts, But then to like do things, I overthink a lot. With some things, I am impulsive, but at the same time, I really overthink about everything. So it's like maybe not, or maybe don't say that, or you know.
That all tracks from what I've seen from you so far. I will say though, that, we've already worked together on one project.
Yeah.
I saw the impatience.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of cursing.
Okay.
I think we were running out of class and you're like, and nothing was working on our computer. So we were just getting frustrated,
Yeah.
right? So I noticed some of that. So you said you didn't know much about Scorpio. Let me read you some of the personality traits of a typical Scorpio. Resourceful, powerful, brave, passionate, a true friend.
I'd say 100% for all of those except for powerful. Well, yeah, I'd say 5 out of the 6.
Okay.
I would say 100%.
Weaknesses, distrusting, jealous, manipulative, violent.
I'd say I'm self-aware enough to know that there have been times where I've kind of been like, oh, I don't know. So yeah, distrusting, definitely.
Okay. Jealous?
Jealous. Definitely a part of me. I just don't know 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure how I would describe it shows up in my life, but I know there's probably definitely times. Yeah.
Manipulative?
Yeah, I think it's probably there too.
Like if you wanted to, you probably could.
Yes, I think that's the best way to explain it. Like, if I wanted to, I probably could. I think I have like the capability. You know what I mean?
Violent. This is more
right.
of Scorpios in general.
Yeah.
They, if provoked, they can be and likely will be violent.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, for violent, I will say yes, and
we're generalizing. This isn't like
cool.
We're generalizing.
The
Scorpios,
generalizing
okay?
trait. Okay, cool.
So no need to explain past violent. Scorpio likes.
Yeah.
You guys like the truth, facts,
Yeah.
being right, talents,
Yeah.
teasing, and passion. Passion.
Yeah. A lot.
A
For
lot.
like whether it's hobbies or like relationships that I've built, like passion, I think is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And dreams also.
I dream a lot. Yeah.
Yep.
Dream, and my brain's always ticking, whether it's creatively or just, yeah.
This is what it says about your sun, your core. You are very intense and have extremely strong feelings, which you find difficult to talk about because they are also very complicated. What would you say about that?
100%. I think I can recall, maybe not off the top of my head, but I can definitely recall like conversations I've had in whether like it's a romantic relationship, professional. It's like I have these thoughts, I have these emotions, I have these ideas. Communicating them is kind of hard because sometimes they are very intense. And that could be intense in a bad way, like very heavy emotions, but intense in a good way. You know what I mean? So yeah, that one, 100%.
So how do you feel about it, first of all?
I am excited, but I'm also kind of nervous with what's going to happen. So I don't know if some things are going to be, like right on the spot, just hit the target, So, but I'm looking forward to it.
And is that nerve-wracking to you if it is?
No, as a person, there's like maybe some weird quirks or tics that I have. And, it just kind of makes sense of why it's part of me.
So it's because it could possibly validate the good and the bad.
Pretty much, yeah.
And that's what's exciting and also nerve-wracking about it. And I get that. I think most people feel the same way. I'm going to read a little excerpt on what it says about you being a Scorpio in particular, okay? You're very intense and have extremely strong feelings, which you find difficult to talk about because they're also very complicated. When you lose your temper, you get extremely angry. Fortunately, that doesn't happen often. And when you are angry, you don't easily forgive the person who caused your fury. You're very sensitive and your feelings are easily hurt, but you won't run off and hide if someone hurts you. Mysterious and hidden. You also want to know what is going on in people's minds. So you make an effort to learn as much as possible about human nature. Sometimes other people have difficulty understanding you, and for this reason, you may not make friends easily. But the friends you do have will be very good ones who will probably last for your whole life.
That sounds accurate.
The sun represents your core. It's like at your center, at your heart, you're a Leo. Okay? What does that mean? First, I'll do like your personality traits. And you tell me if any of these sound like you.
Okay.
Your strengths: creative, passionate, generous, warm-hearted, cheerful, and humorous.
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Weaknesses: arrogant, stubborn, self-centered, lazy, inflexible. And I know Leos don't like to admit anything that's like wrong with them. So.
No, because I am aware that that kind of is me. I would say that is me, yeah.
Yeah. Which one of those come out more often than not? Arrogant, stubbornness, self-centered, laziness, or being inflexible?
I would say the self-centered one. I mean, I try and keep it low, but yeah, it definitely comes out a lot of the times.
This is what it says about you being a Leo. You are spirited and strong-willed and like to be the center of attention. Other people like you because you're basically warm and affectionate. You work very hard to get your way with others. You should be careful of carrying this trait too far, however, because it may turn away people who would otherwise be your friends. You are proud and consider yourself important. The positive side of this is that you are reluctant to compromise yourself. You work very hard to get your way with others.
I don't know.
You don't know, or you don't want to admit?
I don't want to admit.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
100%.
That's enough. That's enough of an admission. I got you. But we don't have to go into detail of anything you don't want to go into detail. But if you do want to share, go ahead.
No, I'm good.
All right. When you're older, you will want to be a person of some importance.
Yes.
And, if possible, a leader.
Yeah.
And that plays to the idea of being a king or a queen.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. That gave me like a really good like motivational booster.
It felt good.
Yeah, it felt good because I never thought of myself like that ever.
It felt good because you're a Leo and you actually do like that stuff.
Yeah.
Did you know that you were a Gemini already?
Yes.
And what do you know about Geminis?
Not much, just that they're supposed to have like two sides. Maybe, I don't know. That's like all I know.
That's all you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just do like your traits,
Okay.
strengths. And you tell me if this rings true or not.
Mhm.
You're gentle, affectionate, curious, adaptable, ability to learn quickly and exchange ideas.
Okay.
Weaknesses: nervous, inconsistent, indecisive.
Very.
And dislikes: being alone, being confined, repetition and routine.
Yes.
Yes to everything.
I feel like pretty much.
Yeah. The nickname for Gemini is they're the children of the zodiac
Mm-hmm.
because they're very childlike, meaning you have a lot of friends, you like to have a lot of fun, you talk to everyone, very like outgoing, personable people, but childlike because they also cause trouble, trauma, and that's kind of like where you will hear that they're two-faced, or and maybe they are, maybe they're not. It's all about the Gemini's perspective, like how you see it. So for Gemini and your sun, it says your mind is very quick and agile, and you are curious to know the answer to every question as quickly as possible. You like to travel and see new sights. You quickly get tired of whatever you're used to and want to trade it for something different.
Yes.
You enjoy games, especially ones that require you to match wits with someone else. Your moods change very quickly, and you don't spend a great deal of time being unhappy or sad. All it takes to make you feel better is to have something new and interesting to do.
I don't know if I agree with that, but I do think my moods change rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh, Honestly, I don't know exactly about what the Capricorn is, but I know myself. My zodiac sign is Capricorn. That's what I know. Yeah.
And that's all that you know? You don't know anything about like what it means?
No.
Okay. So let's find out.
Okay.
It says, you are much more serious than others your age. On the one hand,
Ooh. That's really true.
on the one hand, you like being taken seriously and enjoy having responsibility. But on the other hand, you see that other people aren't saddled with such responsibilities, and you tend to envy them.
Yeah. That's so true.
That's so true? All of it?
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like thinking so hard, like overthinker.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm doing everything like very serious. Yeah. I can say that is so true.
So what about, you see other young people that don't have the same kind of responsibilities that you have, and do you feel a little bit envious of them?
The young people?
Like
Like how
or your people your age. Like if you see others that don't have as much responsibility as you, and they're like partying more, they're hanging out more, does that make you feel a little envious or like jealous?
No, I don't have like that kind of thoughts, because I'm the one like who likes to party too, but not much. Just like not kind of like person every time doing the party. So I separate every time. Like when I have to work, I work. When I have to study, I study. Sometimes when I boring with like doing those things, so, I hang out with my friends doing some party. Yeah, that's what I do.
We're going to get to all of that,
Okay.
because there's other parts that tell me that you're absolutely right, that's
Yeah.
it. Let me finish with this one.
Okay.
That was just the first part of what it read. You may develop a rather odd and unusual sense of humor. Through jokes and humor, you show that you recognize the seriousness of life, but you also escape from its overwhelming effects. So how's your sense of humor?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do that always.
It says so you do it with like an unusual like humor, like you'll maybe make fun of it in a way.
Yeah, just make fun of it. And I don't want the things that's going too hard. I don't know how to explain that.
to like overtake everything.
Yeah.
You don't want it to become like
The bigger and bigger.
bigger.
Yeah.
When you grow up, you want to be important and achieve something real that everyone can point to as yours. You are ambitious in everything you do and will work very hard to excel over others. You are very practical and always ask what good something is.
Yeah, that's true. So, yeah, I just want to get a fame when I get older in one place, maybe in business or something. Yeah,
It's fame?
like I want to be like famous
Oh,
in one place.
in business.
In business, or like I'm also interested in the like video production. So maybe it's gonna be in business or in the video production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll have your own studio.
Yeah.
So you want to be someone important and achieve something real that everyone can say, look, that's Zan. You want that.
Yeah.
All right, so up next, I have Lucy Llewellyn. Lucy's from the UK. She was born in Wales, born 10th of May, 2002. And we're going to find out if any of these aspects that I'm going to read off to her actually match who she actually is. So your first sign, you're right, you're a Taurus. And it's your first sign, which is called your sun sign. In the sun sign, it's a person's core identity. So for Tauruses, you're very patient and like to do things slowly so that you can see what is really happening. With your love of comfort and ease, you may try to avoid strenuous situations, but you really need such experiences to help you mature. People will probably like you because you are affectionate. You give and receive love easily. However, if others try to take advantage of your placidity, they will quickly discover that when you are roused to anger, you don't calm down easily. You find it difficult to work for abstract goals. You don't mind working a long time for the results you want, but you have to understand and relate to those results. How much of that would you identify with? And I can reread anything.
No, I had it all. I'd say most of it, but then that's when I go, yeah, but wouldn't anyone read this and be like, oh yeah, yeah. But
I don't identify with any of this stuff.
No?
No, none of that is me. Like, none of it is me. And I don't have any Taurus in my chart.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So, Dominic, I don't know you at all, right?
Yes.
We've never met. We've never
talked
had a
to each other.
conversation before.
Yep.
So I know nothing about you at all. What we're about to do is I'm going to tell you about the astrology of you.
Mm-hmm.
Your first sign, your main sign, is called your sun sign. So the sun rules your main one. So it's your core. It's like at your center. Like you are an Aquarius at the center of you. So your sun is in Aquarius. That's what it says. You like new things and new ideas and are bored by old ways of thinking and acting. You are an individualist and a free spirit, but at the same time, you need to work and share your life with other people.
Oh my gosh. Wait, that's...
However, even though you attracted new ideas, you don't readily change your thinking once you have made up your mind. Because of your fondness for new ideas, you enjoy studying science, technology, and other subjects that enable people to control the world in some way.
Oh my gosh.
As you get older, you may be attracted to more offbeat studies, such as astrology and the occult. When you are with a group of friends, you think about the group as a whole rather than just about yourself. This can cause problems for you if your needs conflict with the needs of the rest of the group. You will stand up for anyone who is not being treated fairly.
Yeah. Like...
So you laughed when I said I think it was you are an individualist and a free spirit, but at the same time you need to work and share your life with other people.
Yeah. I feel the need to do more when I get praised for doing something. So like, as for example, like if I'm working and someone says, "Oh, good job," like it just drives me to keep going. Yeah. So that's why I was like, "Oh wow, that's pretty like it's actually like crazy." And then also the part where you're like the technology and stuff, I was like, wow, like because like I'm into mostly like computers and stuff. So like I was just like, damn.
However, even though you are attracted to new ideas, you don't readily change your thinking once you've made up your mind.
Yeah, like that's true. Like if I'm like doing something and I'm like, oh, I don't want to, like I try to get one thing done at a time. So like I don't try to like change it up.
When you are with a group of friends, you think about the group as a whole rather than just about yourself.
Actually, yeah. Like I try to be more open-minded towards like them. Like I try to get their opinions and then I share mine. Like I try to get all opinions at once. And then even then, like you said something about like helping other people. So like I try to like listen in on what they're like saying before I share my opinions.
Yeah, so you want to be all inclusive and make sure that everybody is heard and shares before going into about
I'm
you.
shared. Yeah.
That all makes sense.
Today I have Pius
Katengi.
Kitengi.
Yeah.
Born in Johannesburg, South Africa.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I wanted you to come here, because you're not from this country, so you can represent like, a different part of the world. All right, Pius. So I did your astrology chart,
Which I'm super excited for.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it for real.
Good. I'm super excited to talk to you because I don't think I've ever done this for anyone from South Africa.
Really?
So that's really cool. So the other story that I want to talk to you about, we'd met one time just briefly, but last week we talked a little bit more when I was talking to Kwame, and he was telling you that
I just did his astrology, but not that I did astrology, that I picked his sign
Yeah.
just by looking at him.
Yep.
And then you said, well, what about me? What do you think about me? And I was like, man, I've talked to you less than I've talked to him.
Yep.
You know, I've only known you for 2 minutes, literally. And you're like, just try. So what happened next?
And then you started breaking down what I was wearing. He was like, okay, you're wearing this type of colors. And you started breaking down the signs, and you broke it down. It was, I think the other one was Scorpio. It was Pisces. Yeah, you broke it down to Pisces and Libra. And I was already blown away because, spoiler alert, I'm a Libra. So I was already blown away. I was like, okay, he's broken down to the two. So I was like, I told him, okay, it's one of those. And then you kept going on. I was okay, well, you're very extroverted, but you're also introverted. And you started going on, breaking it down. Then you're like, you a Libra. What? It was one question you asked. It was like one final question. I forget what it was.
I said, if me and Kwame all of a sudden start beefing, if we have a problem and it's ruining the vibe, how badly does that affect you? And you were like terribly like, no, that's no good at all. Yeah. And I was like, you're a Libra.
Yep.
And that right there, you were like, oh my God.
Yeah, I was blown away. I was like, how does he know?
How do I know?
Away. Yeah.
It was so funny. That was such a funny day because I just picked Kwame's sign out of thin air also. And then before that, I did our professors.
That's insane. I don't know how you do it.
The moon represents your emotional side, your feelings, intuition, and memories. Just like water signs represent the emotional signs of the zodiac, the moon can enhance that. So if you were to have a water sign within your moon sign, it's almost like you have double the emotion.